Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Karina. No, I'm just saying good morning because for reasons that may not be visible on the screen.
They will become obvious.
But will become obvious.
So we introduced this song last week and do it again today because
We like it.
we like it a lot. And if standing is something you do, you're welcome to do that. And we'll do this together. Jesus spoke, entreating them to live together in a great circle of love. When his followers asked him then who should be included, Jesus said,
Let everybody in, everybody in, everybody into the circle, circle.
Let everybody,
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 everybody into the circle, circle. Oligarchs and tyrants try to keep some in and everyone else outside, till revolution sweeps across the land and the people all stand and the common folk cry.
Let everybody in,
everybody in, everybody into the circle, circle.
everybody,
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 everybody into the circle, circle. Sometimes a circle is a class or creed. Sometimes a circle is made of only men. Until Susan B. Anthony says, what about me? Let me in.
Let everybody in,
Everybody in. Everybody into the circle, circle.
everybody,
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 everybody into the circle, circle.
Sometimes a circle is a privileged thing, excluding people for the color of their skin, until the voice of Martin Luther King said, let freedom ring and let them in.
Let
Everybody in, everybody in, everybody into the circle, circle.
everybody,
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 everybody into the circle, circle.
gay and straight, rich and poor.
Whole and broken, open up that door.
The more we are, the greater we become.
And after all, we all are one.
Bring in the people, but don't stop there.
Bring in the fish in the sea and the birds in the air.
Bring in the rivers wide and the mountains tall.
We
go
all
together or not at all.
Let everybody in, everybody in, everybody into the circle, circle.
Everybody,
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 everybody into the circle, circle.
let everybody in.
Everybody in, everybody into the circle, circle.
Everybody,
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 everybody into the circle, circle.
Good morning, everybody.
In.
Great to have you here. Great to see you online wherever you are. And great to welcome up the inimitable Karina Reinhold.
Well, good morning. And thank you for that warm welcome. I am Karina Reinhold, and I'm a member of the board. And I'm so delighted to be here on Halloween because this is another invitation to bring a part of us that maybe We don't take out for a walk that often, and that's being silly, taking the opportunity to be silly, and I'm grateful for that. As an opening prayer, I have a little excerpt from the Daily Word, and it is, I live a peaceful life. I guess it's inspired by everything that is going on in the country, in particular the recent storms. So, the storms of life sometimes leave me thinking, I am caught in the swirling winds of a hurricane, trying to steady myself and keep my footing today. But today, I remember that at the center of every hurricane is the eye, a place of perfect stillness. I find my peace in the serene center and return to it whenever I need to still my mind and calm my feelings. With practice, I begin to live my life from this place of perfect calm and tranquility. No matter how hard the winds of life may blow, I return to my center again and again to find a place of perfect peace. I bless all others with my peaceful bearing and kind deeds. Peace grows within my mind and heart as I share it. I am ever mindful that I am one with Spirit and with all people. And now, I invite you, if you so feel moved, to say with me the affirmation for the Unity Minister, which, we may soon be ready to fulfill. So here we go. Together we affirm, we are calling in and we are ready to receive a wonderful minister who is heart-centered, wise, humorous, sincere, collaborative, and well-organized, and who openly walks a spiritual path of growth, deepening consciousness and love. Yes, and so it is. And now, we do the second affirmation. We affirm we are just the right congregation for this wonderful minister. Yes, and so it is. So, what's happening at Unity? So registration is no longer required, except for a few events. Like today, for example, we expected a lot of people, so we ask, we still are mindful of offering a safe space for everyone. So for today, we expect that when we do Christmas and New Year, we have registration, but for the rest of the Sundays, we are not required registration. But, if we fill up the house, you may be subject to the limit. But, it hasn't been a problem so far, so there we go. And we want to welcome back Reverend Bridget Beckman. Do you want to say a few words, or? All right. So today she's going to talk about the continuation, I guess, of the workshop that we did yesterday. And the title is, I Am Listening. And please be mindful that the events of this weekend are part of the interview process for Reverend Bridget, and that we have a Q&A right after the service that we encourage you to be part of, because that's a chance that you get. If you didn't come yesterday, this is a chance that you get to have a conversation with Bridget. On Zoom, yes, of course. And as part of this process, after you have been here, or you were here yesterday, or you are only in the Q&A, however you are participating, we'll ask you to fill up a survey. The survey information is right there, unityalbany.org/news. Oh, okay. That's better. Yes, thank you. If you don't remember that, please search your email because information was sent to you, right? Yes. Information about the survey. We need that information because we don't want to do everything on our own. We want to do it in consultation with you. So please, please, please fill the survey. There are two ways of doing that. You can do it online, with prefer mode, because it's easier for me to compile the data. But if you, for some reason, don't want to do it online, we have paper surveys on the back of the room, Peggy? On the front of the room. All right. So that's the second option. And we want to do them, please do it early this week, because on Thursday, we are going to have a meeting where we'll see it in a minute. But we're going to have a meeting where I would like to have the compilation of all your answers by that time, and that's Thursday. So if you can do it before Thursday, that would be great. Now, next Sunday, we have the special visit, well, actually, online visit, of our beloved John Welshon. He's going to talk about the light within illuminates the world. And he's going to offer a workshop afterwards in the afternoon. And it's going to be from 1 to 3:30. And the workshop is titled Unveiling the Inner Light, Meditations and Contemplations on Freedom from Fear. The fee, a suggested donation, as always, is $25. And you can find more information online. Now, what else is going on? We continue having the Monday book club, which now they're starting a new book, which is Discover the Power Within You. And I think this is a book by Eric Barworth. So we're going back to Unity Principles. And this happens on Mondays at 7. Please, you can see the link on the newsletter. We have Thursday prayer hour at 9 a.m., prayer and fellowship. And we are preparing for Thanksgiving. Now, this takes an effort from the community. Fred is organizing the event, but he needs help. In particular, he needs somebody who is willing to cook the turkey and also to set up and clean up. So please contact Fred if you feel, if you want to be part of this. You know, this is where we keep reminding that part of what we are, as we read in the mission statement, is the spirituality through service. So any volunteering opportunity that we have at Unity is part of what we call the sacred service. So if you feel called to do sacred service for Thanksgiving, yay. Today we have the fellowship Sundays at 11:30. Today is a Q&A. It's a special fellowship just with that topic. But it's at 11:30. Please be ready with the Zoom link. And as always, if you have any questions or concerns, especially because we're going through the minister search, please, please, please contact the board. There are ways of you can call the board at a special extension 17, or you can email us, or you can look in this Servant Keeper directory and call one of us. We're always available and always wanting to hear from you. By the way, every year the board gets renewed, so I want to invite you to consider whether you're going to be, you would like to be part of the next board. A few of us are stepping down. I have served, for example, for many years now, so it's time for me to move out and bring new blood. Right? So if you search within yourself, hold that question in discernment and see if you would like to step up to serve, do the sacred service of serving at the board. And as always, we are a praying church, and we have a very dynamic praying team guided by Dennis Ryan. And if you have any if you in need of prayers or celebration, please call the number that is on the screen or email us at unitypraise@unityalbany.org. A reminder that not only the prayer chaplains pray for you, but then this gets sent to Silent Unity that pray for you for a whole month. So we pray for a week, they pray for a whole month. And the daily word is protection. By the way, I didn't mention that. Did I mention the topic? I think Welsham is going to talk about that too. Protection. I find my protection in the light of faith and truth. I smile and act frightened as I recognize the neighborhood children who come to my door wearing scary masks and costumes. Children of all ages enjoy playing and make believe. Pretend fright is part of the fun of Halloween. Now and then, in response to an unexpected and unwelcome challenge, more serious thoughts of fear seep into my mind and upset my emotional well-being. At the first hint of unease, I remember that all of the protecting power of God is as near me as my next thought. I say no to fear and yes to faith. My confidence grows as I practice the divine presence, discovering not only the protecting power, but also the guiding love and wisdom of God everywhere I go and in everything I do. For who is God except the Lord? And who is a rock besides our God? The God who guided me with strength and made my way safe. Psalm 18, 31, 32. And now, the beautiful music down in my soul.
Nice to see you all sitting out there.
Great.
Join us in this. Most of the way through, it's an echo, so just echo what's sung. There's a one verse, the third verse is about silence. So Carol sings that, and you can just ooh the echo with us. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2. I hear the music.
I hear the music
Down in my soul.
down in my soul.
I hear the music.
I hear the music
Down in my soul.
down in my soul.
I hear the music.
I hear the music
Down in my soul.
down
Thank you. We invite Karina back up. All are welcome here. Just saying.
So, welcome to Unity Church in Albany. This is the day the Lord has made. Woohoo! So, welcome, old-timers and those of you who are joining us for the first time. Everybody who is watching us on Zoom, welcome. We are so glad to be here this Sunday sharing these moments with you. Now, we always do the mission and vision statements in this part of the service, but I want you to consider the mission and vision statement as an invitation. You don't have to repeat them if you don't want to, but put intention within, or I invite you to put intention within of listening to the mission and vision statement as a meditation. And pay attention how the words from them move through your body, all right? So here we go. The vision statement. A world transformed through the spiritual awakening of all. And the mission statement. We awaken to and embrace the divine essence of all being through prayer and service and in the world. And now, also in meditation, the statement of oneness. The power of Christ's love now releases me from any sense of separation from spirit or others. There is only one presence and one power in my life and in the universe, the all-loving goodness of God. Amen. Back to Roger.
So we'll lead into our meditation time, assuming the meditation happens first. Okay. With this Daniel Nemad song, Inside to Find My God. I invite you as we sing it to allow the words to work on you to go inside and find the presence of Spirit there. 1, 2, 3.
This world as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God.
Yeah.
I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. This world as it is, go inside to find my God. Inside there is peace, inside there is joy, inside there is more than enough. Inside there is peace, inside there is joy, inside there is sacred love. I will leave this day as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this day as it is, go inside to find my God. Inside there is peace, inside there is joy, inside there is more than enough. Inside there is peace. Inside there is joy. Inside there is sacred love. I will leave this life as it is. Go inside to find my God. I will leave this life as it is. Go inside to find my God. Go inside to find my God. I'll go inside to find my God.
Please welcome Reverend Bridget Beckman.
As we come inside to our time of guided meditation, feel free to close your eyes if that's comfortable, or to simply let your gaze soften. Sense the places where the back of your body rests wherever you're sitting, here in the sanctuary or at home. And let your body surrender into that support. As we begin the journey inside to find God, I invite you to notice all the vibrations of whatever is happening inside of you now, in this moment. Is the voice of your thinking mind active or calm? Is your heart holding a joy or a sorrow? Are you aware of anything in your life that is asking you to set it aside for these few moments of listening? As you feel your body supported and notice the rhythm of your own breath, I invite you to notice too, with compassion, any areas of your body where tension is held. And invite those areas to surrender and soften. Sense the soles of your feet resting on the floor. And imagine your feet rooted to the earth. Sensing your legs and hips, feel all the places where your body is touching your chair. And feel yourself rooted and grounded. Notice where your hands are resting, at your side or on your legs. And invite you to open your palms, ready to receive. Sensing the whole back of your body, allowing your shoulders to soften, sensing openness at the front of your body, and breathing in and out. I invite you to listen to the sound of your breath and feel your breath moving in your belly, in your chest, through the nostrils. Sensing again openness and spaciousness in the whole front of your body, breathing. Breathing in, I am listening. Breathing out, I am listening. Breathing in, I hear the sounds around me and within me, and I listen. I breathe in, and I hear the voice of peace. I breathe out, and I hear the voice of peace. I breathe in, and I hear the voice of joy. I breathe out, and I hear the voice of joy. As I breathe in, I let go. As I breathe out, I let go. As I breathe in, I hear the voice of enough. As I breathe out, I hear the voice of enough. Breathing in, I hear the voice of sacred love. Breathing out, I hear the voice of sacred love. I breathe in, I let go. I breathe out, I let go. There is nowhere you have to go. There is no one you have to be. There is nothing you need to do. Simply rest in the surrender of this moment, just as it is. In this stillness, simply listen. I listen to the voice of God, and I am still. I listen to the wisdom of God, and I am still. I listen to the love of God, and I am still. I breathe in, and I hear the voice of peace. I breathe out, and I hear the voice of peace. I breathe in the voice of joy. I breathe out the voice of joy. Sense the rhythm of your own life-giving breath. I breathe in. I let go. I breathe out. I let go. I listen to the voice of God, and I am still. I listen to the wisdom of God, and I am still. I listen to the love of God, and I am still. Rest your whole being in the breath of God, trusting in the sacred surrender to this love. As I breathe in, I let go, and I let in God. As I breathe out, I let go, and I let God. May it be so. And taking a deeper breath of that voice of peace and joy and God, come back fully into this moment together. Are you listening? I am listening. Am I listening? I am listening. I am listening. Over the years, I've labeled the incessant narrator chattering away in my mind with different names. The first time I remember hearing the term monkey mind, or the editor, was years ago at a workshop. I laughed out loud when I heard poet, author, and writing teacher Natalie Goldberg instruct us on how to tell it to be quiet in far saltier terms than I'm going to use today. All right, I think I need to fumfer with this again. There we go. Okay, so the UN... There we go. I am listening. I've actually spent a lot of time over the past few weeks noticing my often noisy inner roommate, as Michael Singer teaches in The Untethered Soul. This past week especially, I had ongoing conversations with what felt like a whole house full of inner roommates. As I wrote and thought and prayed and meditated and planned and paced and started this message over 3 times, seeking the perfect words to say today on this official minister candidate weekend. Wow. We were talking so much that I almost didn't hear that quiet voice of God whispering, share your journey. Share your journey. So as I share my journey, I invite you to think about your own journey of what brought you to this moment. And on Friday, I scrapped the talk that was causing so much inner friction. Instead, I do simply want to share my spiritual journey, my winding backdoor road to ministry, so that you know what led me to this moment. This moment this morning that feels full of potential with you, Unity Church, who quite possibly has been calling me back home to walk with you. As my bio tells you, I was ordained through One Spirit Interfaith Learning Alliance in June of 2016. On my page right here, I typed 3 dots and then stared at them, trying to find a segue that wasn't going to get those roommates all riled up again. How to bring you into my journey from the little girl Mary Brigid, steeped in my Irish Catholic roots, to becoming an interfaith minister, and to do that without talking at you for 3 hours. In August, when I was here, I brought you into some of those threshold moments of that journey, naming them and seeing with the gift of hindsight the hand and voice of God in all of those times of transition and transformation. On September 9th, 2011, the voice of God sounded just like my friend Jen. Jen and I had met at my friend Casey's Nia and Yoga studio in 2007, both of us navigating life newly divorced. Nia is a movement practice, for those of you that don't know, that like yoga, ideally is also a spiritual practice. As we dance with growing awareness of the voices of our body, mind, and spirit, we're invited to choose joy rather than fear as our filter for all of life's circumstances. On that September evening after a Nia class, Jen mentioned that she was all set with her wedding plans to her wonderful new partner, Mark. All set, that is, except for someone to officiate. I laughingly mentioned that my son had his certificate of ministry from the Universal Life Church, and I could see if he was free. And then I looked at her and said, wait a minute. I know you. I love you. I will go online, and I will do your wedding. We hugged and laughed and cried at the absolute rightness of that. That in this place and through this spiritual practice where we each had found our joy again, I said yes to hold the space for Jen and Mark to make their vows to one another. That was 10 years ago this past weekend. And like all of those transitions that I talked about earlier this summer, I had no idea how much this yes would change my life. Since my mom and dad are here, I'll tell you this part of the story too. Before that wedding, my dad was really worried that it was going to be legal. And my mom wanted to know what I was going to wear. So I stopped by their house on my way to the wedding, and they prayed over me. So many voices in that beginning were whispering to me as the voice of God. I am listening, God. It was also from this Nia community that I was asked to co-celebrate a Hindu, Christian, Jewish wedding. Dennis, I almost said this to you as you told me your joke this morning. A rabbi, a Hindu priest, and a Bridget walked under a huppah. When my friend Casey's son got married, it was incredible to be part of this ceremony that incorporated 3 traditions, connected and vastly different, but all with love at the heart. It was part of what got me thinking about what is there to these other religious paths that is pulling at me. But it was also the gift of being the unofficial minister in residence, because I was Casey's BFF. That weekend, anything that needed answering was go ask the minister. So stepping into that role of minister called that forth in a beginning way as well. I am listening, God. It was again my friend Jen, whose God voice led me to the profound discovery that I was meant to help commemorate grief as well as joy. The 19-year-old daughter of Jen and Mark's good friends died in her sleep a week into her sophomore year of college. When Jen called me to ask if I could help the family mourn and celebrate this young life and honor her passing, I said yes. In an auditorium of almost 400 grieving, tender hearts, I felt the strength of the divine spirit in me and the simple, beautiful grace of being an instrument of peace. I am listening, God, and you have a very strange sense of humor. A few months later, at a Christmas party at Jen and Mark's house, I stood and chatted with Casey and Mark. He put his hand on my shoulder, Casey being the friend. I didn't really mix up those names. He put his hand on my shoulder and said, "When are you going to start your church? Jen and I don't know where to bring our kids." We talked about the challenge of finding a spiritual home for a family blending two faith traditions that no longer quite fit either parent anymore. I laughingly said, "Someday I'll start Our Lady of the Barefoot Dancers." Someday I'll find a program that'll give me more credentials than my online certificate. Someday. As we walked out to the car that evening, Casey turned to me and said, "So, if you weren't afraid of how you were going to pay for it, what would be your excuse for not finding a program?" Sometimes the voice of God is a very pointed question from a friend who knows you well. I am listening, God. And here my lovely Catholic parents enter the story again. Their dear friend Marie, a former Catholic nun, was an ordained interfaith minister. We met for breakfast one chilly winter morning, and the seed for One Spirit Seminary was firmly planted. My first spiritual home was my childhood home. And I know I'm blessed that my early foundation helps me trust that God is absolute good everywhere present. Those early years included plenty of ups and downs, as any family of 6 kids faces. But even before memories of being in church together or the first few years of Catholic grade school, my memories are of praying together as a family. At bedtime, at mealtime, around the Advent candles, in the car, on road trips. Mom especially, sorry, Dad. He's officially the deacon, but she's the prayer. Mom really helped us turn everything over to God. We didn't always listen, but that invitation was there to turn all of those childhood concerns and later adult concerns, turn it over to God. My mom and dad are still my prayer partners in everything I do. So finding a short answer to explain to folks what it means to be an interfaith minister is a lot like trying to find a short answer for, what is unity? Is that the same as you? One Spirit. Unity. It's all about reverence for what connects us, not for whatever seems to separate us. My studies at One Spirit didn't make me an expert on comparative religions. The deceptively simple foundation of the program is to combine studying the world's wisdom traditions intellectually through reading and doing written homework, but more importantly, by committing to exploring some form of practice from each, not in a way to appropriate, but in a way to deeply appreciate and to pay attention to where is their resonance, where is their connection, where is their discomfort and challenge, and where is the voice of God in all of that? Essentially, One Spirit grounded me in a deeper way of listening to the voice of God, the unifying consciousness beneath and within any of the differences wrought by our human expression of our relationship with the divine. In many ways, the religious tradition I know most intimately is Catholicism. It's what I was raised in, it's what I raised my children in, and where I spent much of my adult life. In fact, St. Vincent's is where I know Roger and Martha Mock for 35 plus years. Yet for a host of reasons, that container eventually felt constricting. There certainly and sadly, there was no room for me to have this kind of public ministry. And so that no led to the yes of one Spirit and my ordination. I am listening, God. I will say yes, and yes, and yes, and yes to love. I will be love's hands and heart and voice at work in the world. And I will do all that I can do to be love in action. That's the vow I wrote, or rather the vow that the voice of God revealed to me when I was ordained. It's so easy to feel the yes when I'm in the flow of living my life from the center. I actually use that with couples when I'm preparing them for marriage preparation. It's so easy to say yes in those moments. But can I pull that vow out of my pocket when the winds of circumstance threaten to pull me back into the hurricane of fear and into listening to those sometimes testy inner roommates? There are times when in the silence the voice of God within helps me pause, listen, and then yes, I can affirm my vow to be love. And as I come back to again and again, there are times when the only way I can hear that voice of God is in your voice. I am listening. 95% of my role as director of spiritual life at my school was life-giving, challenging in beautiful, beautiful ways, and helped me truly experience the sense of dancing with my sacred purpose. Last December, though, the 5% that was painfully challenging felt like a chain dragging me down. It's been sort of fascinating to look at that experience through the unity principle of how our thinking creates our reality. That line of thought is actually part of the talk that did not let itself get written. May circle back to that. For today, there is this. When I couldn't see my way out of that darkness, the voice of God called to me from the love of the dear ones who walk with me through my life. So many voices of love and encouragement and tangible support. And the voice of God whispered, "Be still, slow down, breathe." One night in early January, I put myself on a little mini retreat at home. In the quiet, I let myself soften into envisioning the path ahead of me. I actually brought in something for show and tell. On this piece of paper, I let myself play with pastels. John, Frederick, if you're out there, I also am afraid of drawing. But I let myself play with the pastels, creating a finger labyrinth. And in that quiet space came the insight, The way is winding and yet clear if I steer from my center. On the back, this is why I have a tissue in this hand. On the back, in bright magenta pen, I just let the voice of my deepest consciousness stream out across the page. There are words that were, I swear, calling me into the house that I found in Albany in January. There are words about those grandbabies who are my new soulmates. But here is the piece that resounded and gave me chills when Roger reached out to me this summer. Hey, Bridget, welcome back to Albany. Did you know Unity Church is looking for a new senior minister? These are some of the words on this sort of scrap of paper. I am manifesting my next livelihood. I claim it even while I remain open to it. I work with people of deep integrity who collaborate and work for a better world. My livelihood supports me, but also makes way for justice and equity and beloved community. I work with others who are working on themselves and on changing the world with open hearts, intelligence, humility. I'm working for racial justice, and I work with people who can laugh at themselves and value rest, joy, and good hard work. My work makes safe spaces, brave spaces, joy-filled spaces. Yesterday, in that rich, tender, vulnerable sharing of that workshop, you gave me the gift of co-creating a brave, safe, joy-filled space together. God comes to you disguised as your life. This simple truth in the quote by Paula Darcy echoes in my spiritual journey, and I imagine in yours as well, at every turn. My whole life is in God, and always, always, it is my individual inner need to slow down and listen, combined with my need to listen in community, that awakens and reminds me that God is everywhere present. And that then helps me pull that vow out of my pocket and step fully, humanly, in ways graceful and in ways sometimes bumbling, into saying, yes, I will be love in action, always, and in all ways. So, my friends, thank you for listening. On this morning when I am feeling the joyful weight, not the heavy weight of this potential and possibility that we have actually called out to the universe for each other, I will leave you with another round of wisdom from Jan Richardson, a poem that is in dark blue around the edges that anchored me that January night and so many times after that blessing that makes a way for you. What I know is that this blessing will begin as soon as you set out. That this blessing will meet you in every step. That it is gladly bound to you and cannot do without you. That you are part of the path that this blessing makes, that it creates a way not only for you, but through you and in you, that it finds its road as you find yours. I can hardly fathom how it is that this blessing is already waiting for you, even as you fashion it step by faltering step. But there it is, in all its wending mystery. So, may you meet it with courage. May you enter it with clarity. May you walk it with wisdom. May you travel it with joy. May you come to it not as one buffeted by chance, but as one who has chosen. Uncertain, perhaps. Unready, perhaps. But this path, this one, with abandon. This. May it be so, and so it is. Amen.
Well, this next song goes with the first talk that she was going to do. No. So allow the words of the song to be the voice of God speaking to you. Allow yourself to listen, even as you sing them. It's going to be the voice for God. I better tune.
The voice of God through the tuning.
Yes. Close. I am the infinite presence. I am the one in all. I am the truth in beauty, the answer to Spirit's call. Try that. I am the infinite presence. I am the one in all. I am the truth in beauty, the answer to Spirit's call. I am the one within you, ever present, ever near. I am the one you see, whispering softly, whispering in your ear. I am the infinite presence. I am the one in all. I am the truth in beauty,
the truth and beauty, the answer to Spirit's call. Within your heart there is a doorway. Step through into the light. The love of God awaits you with these golden wings. Take flight.
I am the
Infinite presence, I am the one in all. I am the truth in beauty, the answer to Spirit's call. I am the infinite presence, I am the one in all. I am the truth in beauty, the answer to Spirit's call. The answer to Spirit's call.
the answer to Spirit's call. And we come to that part of the service where we offer what we have to give and receive what we have to receive. And though I know many of you are doing your giving online, this week I've put a basket up here. Make it just simpler. And you can come up if you like during the next song that we'll sing or the closing song. You can do it any time. When you're on your way out, is there. But we'll say now together our offering blessing. Together, divine love
flowing through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. We are blessed to know that Spirit is our source. Thank you, Father, Mother, God. And so it is. Amen.
And before we sing our closing song, we have a blessing for our youth. So I invite you to bring to mind and heart the youth in your life and hold them before you and say to them these words.
God loves you and accepts you just the way you are, and I love you and accept you just the way you are. I behold the Christ you are.
Allow some silence for them to say that back. So it is. And finally, our prayer for protection. If you'd like to stand for this, you may do so. And say together, the light
of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. I am divine.
Stay standing and do our closing. The joy.
We let the joy wash over us. We let
Next week, John Welshon's a Sunday afternoon workshop. We're going to do it hybrid like we did yesterday. It's worked out great. Sign up for it online. I think that's it.
Q&A
Thank you.
session at
Q&A
11:30 via Zoom.
Some of you need to run home.
And meet with the board on Thursday at 5:30 via Zoom.
Yes. And thank you so much, Reverend Bridget Beckman. Thank you.
Amen.